Hello everyone, I am Babu Charles. I belong to Madurai and I did my literature between 91 and 94 in the American college. Even before joining college, I was very closely associated with the college because as a child I literally grew up in the college. சின்ன வயசில் கதீட்ரலில் அப்போ கதீட்ரல் கட்டிக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. சேப்பலில் தான் சர்வீஸ் இருக்கும். ஸோ சேப்பலில் ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ் எல்லாமே சேப்பல் அட்டன் பண்ணுவோம். கேரல் சர்வீஸு, கிறிஸ்மஸ் கேரல்ஸு, கிறிஸ்மஸ் சர்வீஸ், நியூ இயர் சர்வீஸ் எல்லாமே சேப்பல்லையும் மெயின் ஹால்லேயும் நடக்கும். ஸோ சின்ன வயசுலேருந்தே I grew up there. My family members were all very closely associated. All my uncles, starting from Pradeep Kumar, who was the first trumpeter of Madurai, and also Rajan Padmakumar. He retired as a customs officer. Both of them studied there, and my uncle was also working there, and he was the economic professor. He was the one who joined me to the American college, and Professor Messenfen, he retired as the dean of the college. So he was the one who recommended that I pursue literature because I had interest in biology, but my family wanted me to take up economics because I can appear for competitive exams and some bank exam and get a government job or a bank job. But my uncle said that you should you should take up literature because you would do really well in this direction. So I took up literature. 94 I passed out, and I appeared for my literature, MA postgraduate program in English literature, and I got a seat. Professor Ilango and Professor Nedumaran both were there in the interview panel, and it was a very stringent process where I had to take up a written exam, then go for an interview, and both my professors were there in the interview panel. Interview went on well, and they said, why don't you take up this, Professor Nedumaran was the one who was very inspiring. He's one of my very important referees. And he had given a reference. I remember stating that Babu Charles would be certainly an asset to any organization. So I very, very clearly remember what kind of an idea he had for my career progress. So both advised that I should take up MA literature, then go to SIFL Hyderabad, do my MPhil program there, and come back and join as a lecturer. But I was very keen to move on to Chennai, and I was very keen to pursue a career in psychology, mental health kind of program. So I took up social work at Madras Christian College, and Professor Lawrence, I remember very clearly, he said, you definitely, your temperament would suit the place, and MCC would suit your temperament. So I went there, and when I was there attending the interview with Professor Nedumaran, I said that I would want to go see the world and come back. So this I very clearly remember because 2002 I went back to the college to join the Department of Social Work as lecturer. So my journey started as an English language literature student and moved on to become lecturer in Department of Social Work. And I left college at 2010 because I wanted to pursue my higher studies, and Professor Chindra Joseph Jaikumar, he was a principal and secretary at that point in time, and he said like, okay, you just go pursue your higher studies. So, and like I stated to Professor Nedumaran, like I went and saw the world and came back. 2010 I left to Eritrea, then from there to Sydney, Australia, and from Australia to Muscat, Oman, and back home in 2015-16 I was back home, and my journey again started. So it is a happy homecoming all through, and it's been a fantastic journey. And I remember, if you'd ask me, I remember one thing very clearly, the motto of the college, that is purificatus non consumptus. It happened. I can very clearly say that it happened around my 3 years of stay in the college. And it's without any consumptions. I was purified, and I was kind of going with lot of self-confidence and I mean, highly empowered to go see the world, seize the day, and kind of progress well in life. I did progress well in life. I owe it mainly to the kind of resources and support and hand-holding that I got from my professors those days. I very clearly remember Professor John Sahayam, Professor Samuel Lawrence, Professor Vasantan. He was very inspiring. I remember a story. I remember an incident. Professor JV, fondly called as JV, Professor J. Vasantan, he was actually planning to go on leave because of certain health reasons. He couldn't. He said that he may not be able to meet us during the last semester. But we were very keen because we used to hear from our seniors about the kind of lectures he used to deliver. So we went there and represented a case to the then head, Professor Samuel Lawrence, and also to senior professors, and said we would definitely want Professor JV to come and handle classes for us. We are eagerly waiting for his classes. And that's the last semester that he was with us in the college. And he readily accepted, and he came and used to handle classes Shakespeare for us the entire semester, and it was a very interesting journey. I still remember. I remember Professor Rajendra Pandian, then Professor John Shager. They were all new entrants, and Professor Bernard, who had left by the second or third year of my stay in the college. So they were all kind of very inspiring. There was a very nice theatre group organized by Professor Ilango. Those days it was called the Curtain Club, which was initiated, founded by Professor Vasantan, then moved on to become the Fourth Wall, that is active theatre group in the college. So my literature journey stopped at 24, and I moved on to from literature. I moved on to reading sociology, social work, mental health, so on and so forth. 2002, I joined the American College as a lecturer. Professor Chinra Joseph Jaikma was the director of the Department of Social Work, and Professor Dr. Samuel Sudananda was the principal, and he was the one who appointed me. And Department of Social Work had a different kind of a grooming under the leadership of Professor Chinra Joseph. He was the one who developed a perspective in me, I would say. I really enjoyed reading and teaching sociology, and I was almost in all three specializations. I was also handling courses for human resources management, development management, and medical and psychiatric social work, which I developed at the behest of Professor Chinra Joseph Jaikma. And all these three specializations I was involved in. At one point, I was also the director in charge of the department. So it was a different kind of a grooming, in the sense like that's where I thought. I learned teaching, learning, and I also learned about students, and was kind of groomed in a different format altogether. So it was a very, very interesting journey, and happy association with Department of Visual Communication, founded by Professor Prabhakar Vedamanikam, who is now the head of the Department of Postgraduate Tamil Department. And it's a very interesting association, because that is where I learned about media education. I also learned to use digital media to a greater extent, which had a lasting effect in me, which I carried across different geographies. So some kind of transformation was happening around this time, because like as a language literature student, I moved on to become to teach sociology, and sociology was so engrossing that I developed a very keen fondness for learning sociology, and groomed students. Around 300 students I would have taught around this time, and almost all my students are placed well and doing really well. And even in Viscom's department, we were involved in developing the curriculum. I just played a minor part in it, and it became a very successful program right from day one. And these were very significant moments, because I also remember going on theatre workshops, and very happy association with students. I mean, own colleagues from Tamil department going up to NSD and coming back to teach. For instance, Mr. Shanmuraja, who was there, who was kind of grooming talents in terms of theatre. So it was kind of a good association from, and also Dr. Madhavan from JNU and Dr. Pavananthi Vemblu from JNU. Both were there, and they shaped up the department in a different direction. Okay, I would like to mention about the principals of American College. When I was a student, Dr. Peter Jayapandian was the principal. Like I grew up in the college, I also grew up in his house, and we were very closely associated in the sense my family was very closely associated. And I remember playing in his house, playing with Jaikarana, Jobanna and Jaisaka around that time. So when I joined college, he was the principal, and though he was very closely associated, we never had the kind of space to go and interact like the way we used to previously. But one instance I remember, and when I didn't take up my seat in the American college, he called up my mother and very clearly said, why your son is not taking up a very important seat that is being offered to him in MA English program. So that was the kind of concern that he always carried. That was the kind of concern. That was the kind of bonding that we all had as a community, not only as a Christian community, but also with other faiths as well. It was a very inclusive space around this time, because I remember whenever we used to go to the chapel, we used to meet friends, young and old, and I was there in the choir around that time as a little boy. And it was a different kind of growing up, because like I was there in Narimedu, and it was just 3 minutes cycling from my place to here, maybe 5 minutes. And it was kind of home away from home kind of a feel that I always used to carry. And the buildings were fantastic, marvelous piece of architecture. I remember reading 75 years of American Majora Mission from first page to the last, and I developed an understanding of how much of effort has gone into developing this institution. I used to really, I've even written an article, tried to reflect on it, and I also grew up in Pasamalai. My grandfather, he was there in the Pasamalai. He was also contributing. His name is Jayaraj Bhavada. And he used to contribute a lot to the Truth News magazine founded by Washburn, the founder of American College in 1881. So my affinity with Pasmalai was that, like I've been as a little boy just wandered around the grounds of the Pasmalai High School, where the institution moved from Thirumangalam when it was started by William Tracy, then moved on to Pasumalai and Washburn Hall, where it was housed for a while, and then moved on to this present campus. And I've traced that history, and I'm closely associated with it, because my journey in Pasumalai was also very close. And I think like my grandfather was working there in the in the Pasumalai school, and my grandmother was also working. So I had a very close proximity to the history of this American college, and I literally grew up in these places and transitioned from where it was started and to where it is now. And at one point I was even recommended to become the campus director for the Chhatrapati campus, so I went and visited. So these connections I very clearly remember. This is a very interesting journey that has happened. A lot of opportunities. There were a lot of opportunities that was provided. Maybe I didn't make use of all, but it provided an enriching experience. So my my second principal when I went to join, when I joined the American college was Dr. Samuel Sudhananda. So he was also very closely known to the family and very close to my uncle, and they were all friends and colleagues. Professor GD used to visit our place, my grandfather's place, for every weekend. They used to sit together and have lengthy discussion. We were just the next street close to his place. Our house was just adjacent to his place, and he used to visit us quite often. I used to be there as a little boy listening to the conversations, most of it, and very unfortunate we lost him at a very early stage before I started growing up. From 2002 to 2010 in the college teaching, and we used to conduct a lot of events, and I was part of it, though not fully well involved, but I was also contributing in whatever ways that were possible, and I learned so much from it. All through, I was very much in the college. From 8 to 8, I used to be in the college, and even on weekends, we used to be there organizing programs. So even as a student, I used to be spending a lot of time in the library, and not only in Daniel Pumbar Memorial Library, but also in PG English Library. And even I remember spending time up till 10 in the night. And Professor Dr. Paul Lowe was so very considerate, and he used to allow us, even being a UG student, I used to spend time there. And I remember my good friend Dinakaran, because like he was a very good soul. He was a librarian at that point in time. He used to be there, wait for us to sit there, work on, and he used to spend quite a lot of time. And I remember him at this instance. He is no more. He was also very well when contributing his time and energy to develop the Skillet Center alongside Professor Nair and Professor Premila Paul. So it was a very nice moment because I used to spend a lot of time with us, and I used to be there in the library reading a lot, and I scored the top percentage, 82% in the American literature, and I am sure that record has not been beaten so far. So it was the center, the library, the kind of grooming that was provided that helped me move in this direction, and I'm forever thankful to it, and thankful to the resources that were provided, and also the people who kind of provided support around this time. And 2002 to 2010 I was teaching there. Then 2010 I moved away, moved to Kodaikanal, then to Eritrea, then to Australia, then to Oman, and here I am back home, and it's a happy homecoming. And this alumni has renewed our energy to develop kind of a perspective again, a very holistic perspective where we go there to the alma mater and contribute. So what I have decided, incidentally I am the vice president of the alumni, American College Alumni Madras Center. So it has been there in me, and I thought, okay, I should also offer my contribution alongside my alumni friends and also the office bearers. So what I've thought is like go back to the alma mater and provide whatever learning that has happened all these years. And I've developed a few verticals based on the kind of work that I've been doing in different geographies. And based on that, I've developed niche skills which I thought I'll transfer it to the younger generation who are there in the college. In fact, I met my old colleagues and also the present principal, Dr. Davamani Christopher. I voiced out my opinion saying that, okay, voiced out my interest, saying that I would like to contribute in this particular direction, particularly in grooming young talents and kind of developing their communication and employability skills. And I'm trained in three different verticals: communication, employability, and entrepreneurial skill development. So I thought I'll offer it to the alumni, to the students, and kind of offer support when they move on to Chennai from here in Chennai Madras Center. From American College Alumni Madras Center. So this is the kind of an offering that I thought I should extend. And thank you very much. See you all on December 9th, because it's going to be a very interesting get together. I think this is the first time that 2000 and odd alumni would be meeting en masse in the college, inside the college. So wish to see you all on December 9th. Thank you very much and have a great day. Thank you.